The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
I think you're on mute.
Workday is starting to sound the same.
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows how to freshen up your yard, and it all starts with mulch. That's why we're introducing Mulch Week during SpringFest with can't-miss savings. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. Plus, members earn 5 times the points on select mulch purchases all week long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/9. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Talk about some more bullshit. Hey, the White Lotus episode that we did yesterday is getting a lot of good feedback.
Really? That's interesting.
Some people said, I think your microphone's being held the wrong way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was it? What a jackass.
We got to put that sticker on there.
Exactly.
Speak into here. Some people said I was refreshing my feed waiting for you guys to drop your White Lotus recap specifically.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. What's wrong with these people?
I think it's because this season had a very weird relationship between siblings, and they were like,
I think that's what it is.
better?
And I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
now,
that's very, very sweet.
So far away and out of the light from your computer because I shared some clips that I'm going to post on the internet from yesterday's recap, and you don't like the way you looked.
You did, and I'm gonna. If I could stand 50 yards behind, I would.
I do think you should stand a little bit closer to your little Brucey art. Center yourself a little bit. Go.
If you notice, I have something on top of it here now. This is a new sign.
This is a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Patreon exclusive. This is a sign that my friends got me from Colombia, and it says "Aquí están las putas llaves," which I believe means here are the fucking keys, and it's a key holder. And I was like, where did you think I was going to put this in my house? Did you think I was going to put it by the front door? What's the point
for
of
all the
this?
key parties you're going to have later.
Exactly.
Anyway, people really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for listening. We're back. This is going to be a little cute little mini chat about the general state of affairs. Things are crumbling around us.
Things are not well. Things are not, as I say, good.
No, as I say, they're not good. But I did want to talk a little bit. You went to the great state of Minnesota.
That is correct.
Last week. That's why there was no Raheel episode last week.
First of all, let me just say I did listen to the episode with our good friend Kendrick. I'm going to say our good friend Kendrick because I've interacted with him.
Yeah, of course. He's your friend too. Of course.
Yeah, I'm honored by that. I can't tell you how excited I was to hear his feelings on Top Gun Maverick. I was so fucking giddy. And I was like, and I listened to it. And then like a day later, the trailer for Mission Impossible 8 The Final Reckoning came out, and I was just like, all right, this is coming out in May. Now, I know you have plans and you have you have your relationship with people like Donnie and Kendrick and you do stuff outside. I'm just saying, if Kendrick could make it up to New Jersey in May, me, and your husband, and whoever else wants to join. I know Tom is a Fast and the Furious franchise guy. I don't know if he's a Mission Impossible franchise guy. This is going to be our Wicked. This is going to be our Wicked for 2025. This is what we're going to talk about.
It's Mission Impossible 8. We're at 8?
We're at 8, yeah. But this one this is the Final Reckoning. So here's the deal. I mean, the world is crumbling down, and there's only one man that can save us all.
His name is Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt, exactly. And he has to, from time to time, go on impractical long runs for 5 to 7 minutes at a time. And we all just enjoy that. That is how he saves the world. So
now, while we're on the topic of impractical runs, one of the things that I did write down was that he had a conversation with Glenn Powell about running. Can you share some insight about that?
So Glenn Powell, I guess, is remaking The Running Man, which was like an 80s movie with Arnold. It's actually probably I've never watched it, but my understanding of it is like it's almost like it predicts reality TV because it's like
actual running. It's not the
actual running. No, it's not the dance move, The Running Man. Another Patreon exclusive. So Glenn Powell is remaking that, and he is a running man. So Tom Cruise's advice then, because obviously TC, as those who know and love him call him, TC and Glenn Powell have this relationship now because of Top Gun Maverick.
That's right.
So TC said to him, the first thing that you should do is start videotaping yourself running because you do not look as cool as you think that you do. So I appreciate the fuck out of that because if there's one thing I enjoy watching in a movie hall. What is
movie hall in a theater, a cinema.
In a cinema, it is watching Tom Cruise run. So I wish Glenn Powell the best.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, good luck. When I saw that, I did think about this movie that I watched with Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. That was like a rom-com, and one of the BTS scenes from it that was going viral was this shot of Glenn Powell hopping out of a helicopter and running across like the Sydney Opera Harbor. And people were like, he's in like a tux. He looks very sexy. And they were like, this is some TC stuff.
Oh, he's already got the running down. It makes sense.
Yeah. But I'm sure that's advice that, he got at Top Gun Maverick probably. And prepared him for running.
Exactly. TC, say what you will, man. The guy knows cinema. The guy knows popcorn. He knows movies. And did you watch the new trailer? Did you watch the new trailer? Of course you did. It looks incredible. It's so much fun.
I'm going to watch it downstairs in surround sound in the basement.
Fantastic.
With a little soundboard. Okay, let's go back to the agenda.
Can we go back to Minnesota?
Oh, yeah, exactly. You went to Minnesota. Pray tell, how was it?
The land of 1,000 lakes. It was fantastic. I went there for work. I know that there is one listener who is not enthused by the fact that I was in their state. It's with a heavy heart that I inform you I will be visiting the state many, many times in the future.
Sorry, Jamie.
In the foreseeable future, as my new work is based out of there, and I have to go there from time to time. So it was great. It was my first work trip in a long time. That was all fun. I was very tired. I had a little incident at the airport. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So what happened to you at the airport?
So I got to my gate. This is when I was departing. I left straight from the office. I was in a meeting. All right. Let me set the stage. I've been drinking coffee all day. All right.
Rumblies in your tumblies.
I left from the office at 11:30. I got to my gate and there was enough time. I don't want to be, coarse or anything. There was enough time for me to use the stall, if you know what I mean, as in the male bathroom. I did not have to use the urinal. I had to use the stall.
You can say it. You had to poop. You had too much coffee. It happens. We're all adults here.
There's no reason to be coarse. Come on. What was Parker Posey's name? What was her name in The White Lotus? I already forgot. What would she say? Yeah, but what would Victoria say? Yeah. Anyways, I was in there. I was whatever. And Nightmare of Nightmares. I heard somebody jingle jangle the door knob or
now
whatever.
I have a question. Were you in a single bathroom?
What do you mean? No.
Like what? Oh, like you were in a regular men's room in a stall.
In a stall.
Okay.
And I heard the jingle jangle of the door, and I realized I had not locked it. And in my defense, I said, "Hey, hey, hey, hey."
Which is, as everybody knows, the universal sign for somebody's in here.
Somebody's taking a dump in here, sir. But the guy didn't hear me. There was a lot of background noise or whatever. I think somebody was announcing somebody to the gate or something like that. And he held the door open, and he saw that I was in. There was a white gentleman in his 60s, looked professional. And he saw me. Now here's the thing. We made eye contact. I know it happened very quickly. He saw me, and then he closed the door right away, right? But I would say the eye contact was maybe like 0.5 seconds. It was enough to like know a person. You know what I mean? Like
you could have fallen in love with each other.
I could have fallen. Maybe we did, right?
I don't wait.
So this happened, and then I locked the door, and then whatever. And then I immediately sent a message to our cousins group, and I started talking about this. And we talked about it for 3 to 4 minutes, and then you put an end to that, and you said, "Hey, save it for the pod," because
we don't know how to have natural conversations anymore. I usually, when you and I are together, we just sit in silence. We don't make eye contact. We pretend like we're not in the same room. Now, I will say, were you scared after that point? What if I'm on the same flight as this man?
So here's the thing. Now, this is a double-edged sword, right? So again, I don't want to be too coarse, right? But at the moment
is it coarse or is it crass?
Coarse, crass, whatever. ESL. At the moment that he opened the door, I was also engaged in an activity. So technically,
you were mid-wipe.
He did not see all of the bits, right? And so I'm thinking, well, there is still some privacy. There's still a little bit of shame that I have. So if I see this person again, we can maybe have a laugh about it. But then thinking more and more about it, like if from his point of view, if this was something that was done intentionally, like if I wanted to get caught mid-dump, right? In his point of view, he could also think that I was playing a little peekaboo with him. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
Weird bathroom games. This is why, like, when people are like, we can't have trans people in the bath. This is why, because guys do weird stuff in the bathroom with each other. And guess what? Trans women don't.
Yeah.
And that's why, actually, trans women would like to go to the ladies' room and not be in the men's room, because the men's room is a weird place.
Exactly. It's a weird place, and we are Neanderthals. Some of the stuff, like if you go to like a stadium and you see some of the shit that goes on in the bathroom in the men's rooms, it's insane.
The men's room at sporting events?
At sporting event. I mean, it's just not like sex stuff. It's just gross. Like dudes are gross. I'm a gross person. Listen to me.
No, men are truly disgusting.
We really are. So yeah, if I would not want to subject anybody to that, you know what I mean?
Do you think that he is torn up about it? Like, do you think he's so embarrassed? He's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
There was, again, going by the eye contact that we had, it was definitely a moment. He's talked to his family about it. I don't think it was a WhatsApp group because he's a white guy. Probably a Signal chat. He looked a little Republican-y. You know what I mean?
He said, Pete, you won't believe what happened.
Talk about dropping bombs. Ironically, this airport is the same one where the Larry Craig scandal happened,
where that man was caught tapping feet, right? Against
not that man. That Republican senator
Yeah.
was trying to get a little something, and he got caught because it's a known activity at that airport, or it was at that point. So there was like a sting operation. The guy next to him was a cop.
What if that guy is also thinking the same thing?
Probably.
Oh my God. He's beating himself up, whatever
What?
his name is. He's beating something. Anyway, that's a very exciting adventure that you had. I mean, I would positively die.
That's what I thought.
I don't think that I've ever had anybody walk in on me.
Mid-dump?
Since mid-wipe?
Mid-wipe.
No. Like,
Mid-wipe.
never, ever. I I will say I get like my heart races when I'm like in the bathroom, and even though I know that it's locked, somebody jiggles the door. I'm like, somebody's in here. Like it's such a panic inducing thing because you're like, what if they have brute strength and then they open the door anyway?
Yeah.
Like what if they, and you know what they started doing in a lot of stalls is that they have like, you know, those separate, like the little gap in the stalls where you can definitely make eye contact with people if you look. Yeah. Right. It's very uncomfortable. A lot of bathrooms now, they have like a little something there now to block that view. So you cannot see anybody in the stall anymore, which is what I prefer, because, you know, we don't have urinals. We have to use the stall.
I appreciate that little bit of room there is, not because I want to make eye contact with anybody mid-dump. It's just because I want to know if somebody's in there.
Yeah, but like, can't you see feet?
Yeah, but then you're like looking down, and what if it's a little person?
Yeah, but if you go far, if you just like peek down, you could quickly see. Also, what are like the urinal doors just like not? Because in the ladies' room, the doors are open if there's nobody in there.
I know sometimes the doors are closed. The men's bathroom, like sometimes the doors are beaten to fuck. There's always graffiti on the back of it.
So weird.
You've never been. I really don't think you're ready for how disgusting.
No, I've never been in the men's bathroom. I have 2 boys, and I take them to the ladies' room with me, and they're always delighted in the ladies' room.
Of course, no. Have I ever told? Well, actually, we don't have time for another story.
What?
No, this is a long story. When I accidentally found myself in a ladies' bathroom in St. Petersburg, Florida, it was in a hotel lobby.
Oh my God!
We'll get to it later.
You're the reason why.
Maybe I'm a creep, guys. Maybe this is.
That's your truth.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to share this story that on Monday on my way to work, I was fully dressed. I was fully dressed head to toe, blazer, slacks, with like my little bag on, with my laptop on and everything. Hair done.
Did you feel like hey, I'm a working gal? Hey,
I'm a professional woman. Okay, yeah. Man, I feel like a woman. I'm making my way down the stairs.
Make my way down
the stairs. And I was walking fast. Because guess what? I slipped. I fell down 4 steps. And we just recently got rid of the carpet in our house. So that's hardwood to Tootie. Yeah. To Tootie. Okay. Real, what was also embarrassing is our cleaners were over. And they saw it happen. And also, I'm a large woman. It's a lot of noise. No, there's a lot of noise when you go tumbling down your butt on like 6 stairs.
Your relative size has nothing to do with the amount of noise that was made.
It amplifies. Listen, when you're a fat person your whole life, it amplifies. You're like, oh my God, did my neighbors hear that? That's the loudest thud I've ever heard in my life.
I really think it's more about the fact that you guys got rid of the carpet, so like the sound travels differently now. It's bouncing off the floor because it's
ricocheting all over. Okay. And like our foyer is fairly empty, so I felt like there was like an echo too. And I was just like, this is so loud. And then our cleaner was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." I was just walking really fast, and I was terrified because, you know, the issue at our age is that you're going to be in a lot of pain the days following, right? Yeah. I will say, I'm not in too much pain. Like, I'm fine.
That's good.
I haven't checked my rear for bruises, but I do think my entire back, butt, and back of my legs, if somebody saw it, they would be like, "Is your husband? Are you blink twice if you need help?" Right? Like, I think that's what, because it was a pretty rough fall, but all day long I kept having this feeling in my head. Every so often I would feel this like heated like gust go up to my head, like from my shoulder to my head, and I was like, am I concussed?
You are. That's exactly what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, but then I'm like, how did I get concussed? I fell down my butt. But it's like everything's connected, stupid.
It really is. So, I mean, you know, not to compare your little fall to the masculine games of football that I play, but with your husband. But no, but that's what happens is anytime your brain kind of shakes.
Yeah, I got rattled.
Yeah, exactly. That's what causes a concussion. You don't necessarily have to get hit.
Yeah. So the sheer weight of my butt hitting the stairs, thud, 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 thud.
That force went straight up your head.
Ricocheted into my skull.
Yeah.
Rocked my brain around like a fucking salt shaker.
I don't think there's ever been a conversation between two brown people that has been this medically unsound.
They're like, are you sure you're Pakistani? I don't understand.
Question about your fall, real quick. So, like, you slipped, and then you said you fell down 4 steps. So
several,
several. So then you fell down on the first step, and then did you go tunk on your butt, or did you like roll around?
No. If I somersaulted, I'd be at the hospital. No, it was because, and then the other thing was the banister was on my right side, but my bag was also on the right side. So I held onto the banister, and Fahad goes, "Oh, so you held the banister? So then you should have been fine." And I said, no, my body kept falling while I was holding onto the banister. And so then like half my body's pulling, and then my purse or like my laptop bag is here. And so it was like pulling on my shoulder. And I was like, did I break my shoulder? What happened? It was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, we're both fine. You got walked in on. I broke my butt.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not worse than Tariffs, it looks like.
That's true.
Okay, we have to talk about Cory Booker because we do represent the state of New Jersey.
Well, he represents the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's right. He does. He does. We just live here.
Yes.
What were your thoughts about this 25-hour filibuster?
So I didn't hear really any of the content of the speech, right? Anytime you see a filibuster thing, obviously, it's performative, like, because what we're doing here is just delaying something. I've seen a couple of them in the past with I think Ted Cruz did one a couple of years ago.
Where he read a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah, it's all it's just kind of a thing to put yourself in a spotlight. Sometimes some people say, but it does also in certain moments speak really loudly. Yeah. In this moment, obviously, what we're all looking for. And when I say all, I mean every decent person is looking for a little bit of normalcy, and for somebody to say, hey, this shit isn't fucking normal.
Yeah.
And I am a fucking representative, and I know I'm somebody of power. So this is the way that I'm going to show you that I care. Right. Yeah. And so within that, with that idea, like the symbolic nature, I really do appreciate it. Right. But also as a 42-year-old officially tomorrow, I also wonder about, hey, what kind of insoles we got? What's the strategy there?
What were the poops and peas situation? And this is why the country is where we're at, because like this man, elected official, gets up there 25 hours talking about all kinds of great stuff, broke history, broke a record. The last person to hold a record was Strom Thurmond, who was literally standing up there filibustering against the civil rights movement. So for this black man to stand up there and like break that record is truly historical, right? Like I will say that like then later on the next day, Cory Booker went on to vote for $8.8 billion in weapons to go to Israel. But so not great. But it was this really monumental thing. But you and I are garbage. And our biggest concern is, was he wearing Lisa Rinna Depends?
You think so? You think there's like a BTS shot of him behind the podium and he's just got a big juicy butt because he's wearing a diaper? You think that's what I don't think that's what's happening.
You think he got catheterized for it?
I think that you can go 25 hours without peeing. Honestly, I think if you have to, if you prepare for it, if you don't drink water, I think you can do it. I would hope he didn't need to get a catheter. I think he probably prepared for it.
Do you think that what's the longest you think you could stand?
So I stand for this thing, right? Every time we talk.
Yeah.
And that's usually like an hour 15. I think I can do that. If I have a purpose, I can probably stand like 3 hours if I have to. Like we play sports and stuff. I'm not usually sitting down while I'm doing that, but I think I would just get bored of standing. That's my biggest problem.
I feel like I'm too fidgety. And also, I like to have a seat.
Yeah.
I'm a sitter.
Yeah.
I like to sit.
God gave us chairs for a reason. We didn't have chairs for a long time. And then he sent one down from the IKEA in the sky.
I like to sit so much that my body said, let's have a seat on these stairs instead of walking. Okay,
hey, let's not go to work today. Let's take a seat.
But what do you think that you would talk about if you had 24 hours? And it does not have to be political. You're up there, it's 20, you got 25 hours. What are we talking about?
Well, so obviously a lot of the nonsense that we talk about here, right? I would reiterate my
You
pear
would
journey.
tell us that story about what happened in St. Petersburg. Or
I would.
whatever.
That story is definitely coming up. While I was in Minnesota, I met up with one of our friends and her husband, and we hung out. And then I went back to their place, and then maybe some things were ingested, and then she and I talked about our pear journeys. She is also on a pear journey, so we literally talked about that for 7 minutes. So I would throw some
today,
of that
today, a listener, Amrita, Amit, she messaged saying that Bosch pears are the best ones, even though they're hideous. They're the best. Oh no, what is it? What? What is it?
No. Go on with your story.
Let me actually read her note because it was very sweet. She also said that we remind her of her and her brother. She also has another brother who's a pain in their butt. So really, she vibes with us. But she said, hold on, let me actually read the exact thing she said about Bosch pears. She said, by the way, nothing tastes better than a Bosch pear. However, it looks ugly and dirty. Also, if you nuke any pit fruit for 3 to 5 seconds, your allergies won't act up.
What?
That's incredible. I don't know if I want, is it going to warm the fruit?
Warm peach? Yeah, you don't want. I don't know if you want.
Amit, listen, let us know if I nuke it.
Amit seems to know a thing or two about a thing or two.
If I nuke it and then put it back in the fridge to cool down, will that work? Let us know. Okay, tell us about Bosch pears, because you had a real big reaction.
I had a real reaction, right? So as we started talking, me and our friend, I'll just tell it's Sammy, right? Yeah. We started talking about what kind of pears we like, because she's been through the exact same journey. And we decided Bosch pears are the best when you eat them at the right time. But exactly as Amin said, you go, hey, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. So the trick is you have to hold them up and you have to touch them. It's the texture. You got to squeeze them a little bit, right? And you got to know exactly. But for pound, Bosch pears are your best bet. The problem with getting Bosch pears every single time is they also expire faster than
the avocado problem.
Exactly. So then you are in this like race against time of, whether or not you're going to be able to finish it all, or some of them are going to go bad. Sammy said, hey, you make a fruit chart out of it at the end, make a salad out of it. So we talked about it, right? Anyways, the day after I came back, she sent me this picture, which is her holding up two Bosch pears, because she had just gone to the market and she was so excited to send me that picture. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
So you.
I know. You would talk about you talk about your pear journey. You talk about your bathroom.
I go on like a Bruce thing, obviously. I go on a TC
obviously.
thing.
You talk about every single Bruce song that you love and why you love it.
I talk about every single San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl season. I've seen all of like the season videos, so I know everything that happened. I talk about that. I'd go into like a whole LeBron versus MJ GOAT situation. That's what I would talk about. Those are the types of things that I would.
That's amazing.
Do. Yeah, what would you do?
Obviously, I would talk a lot about housewives.
Yeah, I think that's the most.
I think, actually, let me ask you, what do you think I would talk about? Because I feel like I'm pretty transparent.
I think you would talk about housewives to kill the time. I think your I don't know what to describe it, but how to describe it. But you know how like you just, once you get your teeth into something, you go off.
When I'm a dog with the bone.
When you're a dog with the bone, like for your trip that's coming up, Canva is going to be used, right? I think you make like a giant chart, a Canva chart for all of the housewife season, and you tie all the stories together. You got what, 5-6 hours right there, right?
Yeah. Oh,
and
I think that's going to cover like maybe 10 hours.
Maybe 10 hours, right? And then the remaining 15, obviously, we're going to talk about childhood trauma. We're going to talk about how you did not feel as a woman and as a girl, you did not feel that you were as much a part of the family dynamic as the boys. I think that kills 15 hours. And then it also kills the audience. I think people would just say,
people just
vote for whatever the fuck it is that she wants, because we can't take
hand us those suicide fruits from Thailand, because we're getting out of here. Somebody make us a little poison pina colada. I think that I would also talk a lot. Obviously, within that trauma talk would be a lot of patriarchy talk. A lot of patriarchy stuff, a lot of misogyny stuff, a lot of homophobia stuff. Fat phobia would be discussed, body dysmorphia, eating disorders, just like a real downer.
Just a real fucking downer.
Yeah. So
I look forward to that.
okay. Also in general, hey guys, the stock market's crashing. Trump today said we're pausing the tariffs for 90 minutes, except for we're going to raise the tariffs 125% to China.
Incredible.
It's insane. It's insanity. I saw a clip of Dave Chappell from a couple of years ago from one of his specials saying Trump says like high thoughts. Like he says things that people say when they're stoned.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm just going to raise the tariffs to China by 125%. What does that even mean? And then he goes, did you see? It went up 2,000 points. The Dow went up 2,000. Yeah, because it crashed like 3,000 last week.
It's a giant fucking pump and dump scheme, you asshole.
You think that's what happened? They dropped it so all these richy riches could buy a bunch of shit, and then
I think what happened is I think there's obviously mismanagement because they didn't have the right formula. Did they think that it was going to go as terribly as it has? No, but I do think that they knew that it was going to go terribly. And when people like that know that things are going to go bad, like the stock market is going to be affected, they short shit. So people definitely made money out of this, and people definitely are going to make a lot of more money coming back out of this, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, the people that it will affect are people that aren't everyday traders, that have their fucking 401ks tied to this shit, right? That are now like the what do they call them? Retail traders. So people on like Robinhood and shit like that, right? Which is interesting, which is why you see a lot of like the right-wing influencer crowd, like Dave Portnoy and stuff, talking about Joe Rogan being because that's who are like retail traders now. That's what the market for that is. And these people all think that they are some sort of like, financial gurus now. And they're just like, oh, the left doesn't want to, they just don't like having money or blah, blah, blah. But I think what they're realizing is that, Trump is also othering you. Yeah. Because you're fucking poor. That's at the end of the day, you don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter that you're white. It doesn't matter that you're a racist. You're poor. And baby, we don't like poor people.
We don't like the poor.
We don't like the poor. They're bummers.
They bum us out. That's why marginalized people are the worst, because they're always complaining.
Exactly.
They bum us out. Anyway, well, you want to know what else bummed me out this week?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I hope it's the thing that they go ahead.
It's about John Stamos.
Yeah.
Now,
what is it?
Now, I'm as you know, Uncle Jesse, my first ever crush of my life. Have mercy, Lord of mercy. I just love him so much. Yes.
Question: Which version of Uncle Jesse? Which hair?
Not the original hair. Too much mullet.
Too much puff.
It was the one right after.
I liked Uncle Jesse when he was a father with like the part in the middle.
Don't get me started. Okay.
Have mercy.
Have mercy. Okay. But guess what? Guess where John Stamos was last week?
Was it Mar-a-Lago?
It was.
It was. What was he doing in Mar-a-Lago?
I don't know.
Mar-a-Lagan?
Mar-a-Lagan, whatever it is that you do. And then, hold on, I'm going to find it. He talked about it. So people were like, what the hell? What does he do? He was like doing some sort of an event there. And he was at Mar-a-Lago, and he had the nerve when asked about it, because he got a lot of pushback when asked about it. There was a People article that said, he emceed an event at Mar-a-Lago. And he said, he defended his event, his emceeing, saying, quote, "It isn't political." What?
Huh?
What? Okay. So he was there was some sort of a gala for Ray of Hope. I don't know what Ray of Hope is, but I'm sure it's a good organization. Let's see, what is it? I don't know what Ray of Hope does, but there was a dancing with the Palm Beach Stars, some sort of an event happening, and they were using Mar-a-Lago as the venue for it. Okay. Okay, so they help train nurses. This is what this organization does. It's whatever. So he said, I accepted the invitation to MC this event, an evening dedicated to honoring and uplifting frontline heroes. He said that this was a nonpartisan event and that it was, meant to, okay, actually, let me read you the whole thing. I accept the invitation, and even dedicated to honoring the uplifting frontline heroes. Nonpartisan event supports the Academy for Nursing and Health Occupations. It's a 501c. Supporting nurses isn't political. It's essential. These are the people who care for us and our families when we need it most. And I believe we should show up for them with the same unwavering dedication they show up with every single time. I stand by the importance of healthcare, of service, and of investing in those who care for our communities. My values and political views remain unchanged. And if you don't donate to Palm Beach Ray of Hope, then please consider donating to Democracy Forward.
You're the perfect blend of elegance and style, and your ride should be no different. The 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid meets all your needs, from business to brunch and everywhere in between. With head-turning details like a sleek front end, plus stylish interior, and an available 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and seamless tech integration. Okay, Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more about the new 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid.
Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new BuyAbility tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your BuyAbility, only on Zillow.
Spring is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Fresh kicks, spring tops, new dresses. There's always a score.
I mean, the denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses.
I always find something amazing.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to find can't-miss deals on all the spring things. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
I know you're pissed at Uncle Jesse. I am completely fine with this.
Here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
complete. Here's the thing. Go ahead.
Okay, listen to me. Yes, healthcare workers and frontline heroes are unbelievably important. But guess which party does not give a fuck about healthcare workers?
That is true. I understand.
Guess which person is profiting off of healthcare workers, profiting off of sick people, who wants people to die, who is spreading anti-vaccination crap, which is going to lead to a measles outbreak that's already happening, that's going to lead to nurses being in danger. It's the Republican Party. It's Trump. So yes, it's on this organization to that they held this event at Mar-a-Lago, which is insane.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. But then you also say, well, if that event then, generated money from the worst fucking people in the world, that can actually have the means to, and that should be donating to charitable causes all the time. You say, well, the fact that it was held at Mar-a-Lago, maybe it's okay, but then at the same time, it's like, well, and then that money went to fucking Donald Trump and his family, right? Because I'm sure they didn't hold the event there for free; they had to pay for that as well. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. It's a tough thing, but Uncle Jesse, what else is he doing these days?
No, it's true.
How about the nurses?
That's true. I will say Democracy Forward is like a centrist organization, which I'm like,
oh, really?
Ooh.
I don't know. I gotta know more about this. I think I really like the statement that you read. I was like, well, all that stuff makes sense. But then if I actually end up doing the math on it, right, the net negative of this is probably greater than the net positive, because you can hold a fucking event anywhere. And if if the big draw was John Stamos, and John Stamos could have said, hey, how about we hold this at I don't know,
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, okay, I looked it up. Democracy Forward is definitely anti-Trump. So that's good.
Yeah.
But, problematic, Uncle Jesse. Don't do that again. Don't piss me off, all right? Did your Bruce...
How rude.
How... Stop it. Chappell Roan was in the news.
Yeah.
She pissed people off again.
Oh, no. Oh, Slippers, what are you doing?
Okay, also real... Would love it if you got closer to your mic.
Oh,
it
sorry.
Seems to be slipping. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Chappell Roan was on Call Her Daddy, and they were asking her like whether or not she's still in touch with like her childhood friends and everything else, and all that stuff. She said, she's in touch with a lot of people from back home, but that her life is very different. She said a lot of them are married with children. They have their own houses. And she says, me, I don't know when that's going to happen for me. And I don't know if that's even realistic. Oh, no. Am I?
Where you were, and now you're okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's because I had switched the browser and I was reading from it. Okay, great. Yeah. All right. So she said, hey, I don't think that this is something that is ever going to happen for me. And so the Call Your Daddy girl said, do you want that? Do you want children? And she said, all of my friends who have kids are in hell. I actually don't know anyone who's happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and under 5. And she's like, literally not anybody I've ever met like that is happy. They don't have light in their eyes. They haven't slept.
Jeez Louise. How old is Chappell?
She's like 26.
I think it's sad that she doesn't know anybody who's a mother in their mid-20s that doesn't have a light in their eyes. Because I have personally, here's the thing. As I see you already getting ready. I have seen a lot of people in that age range get married and have babies and stuff like that, right? Personally, as a 42-year-old, the thought of having a child scares the bejesus out of me. I am not ready for that, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen people do it, and I've seen people go become parents and kind of live that thing. It is obviously really fucking hard, and it is so much harder than than you can imagine. Like, I think that type of responsibility, like to be responsible for another human being to that level,
yeah,
naturally, it's a huge. That's why you get morose and stuff. You're always worried that you're gonna hurt this life, right? So it's fucking hard. Not to mention, whatever women go through in terms of postpartum and all that stuff. Like, your body goes through something massively traumatic. So obviously it's hard. Having said that, obviously the children that come as a result to me are angels, right? You had your children in your late 20s?
Yeah, I was 29 when I had Aiden, and I was 31 when I had Noah. 28 and 31.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know if you feel that was too early for you or too late for you. I will let you comment. It feels like this could be one of the things that comes up in your filibuster speech.
Did you see the Ego Odom skit from SNL?
Yeah.
Filibusters. Okay. Listen, here's the thing. Chappell Roan's 27 years old. If she... Okay, I'm back. Okay, sorry. Chappell Roan is 27 years old. If she has friends who have 5 children under 5, okay, and she has friends who have been married and have kids and have a house and all this stuff, and that's what they've been doing since they were early 20s, because you recognize Chappell Roan's a white woman from Missouri. Like,
that's the other thing.
She's a white woman from Missouri, okay? She grew up probably in an area where, like, and I think she grew up semi-affluent, but, like, she grew up around conservatives. So she grew up around all these people that did the thing where you get married young and you have a bunch of babies and you do the trad wife homemaker stuff. And maybe a lot of her friends are working moms, right? But for her to say that, like, yeah, there are women that she knows, all her friends that she knows, they live this life and they're tired and there's no light in their eyes and it's just not something that she thinks could ever be good for her is valid, because, and there's, the mothers are pissed because they're like, how dare you say
When
that?
aren't the mothers pissed?
I
The
know,
mothers
am I
seem to be pissed a
right?
lot.
Am I right? Okay, here's
Ladies be complaining.
the mothers are pissed because guess what, guys? It is really hard to have kids in this country, especially this country that like 1000% does not care about mothers. Okay, this country does not make it easy to have children and to raise children here. You do lose the light in your. If I had 5 children under 5, Raheel, can you even imagine how much more annoying I would be? Right.
So that 5 children under 5 is that, I feel like that's abuse. Like that is a misuse. It's a misuse of your private parts, man. Like,
hey, how about you get a hobby? Okay,
yeah, exactly. Go knitting. Knit yourself a condom and put it on. A little penis hat.
Seriously, because like, so people are pissed because they're like, how dare she say that like parenting, being a parent is miserable. To Chappell Roan, her friends are miserable from after having kids. She has not met a single mother in their early 20s or mid 20s that is happy or who is not exhausted, who has slept enough hours. And here's the truth. When I'm around a lot of my friends, like especially when my kids were younger, the running thing when we would all sit together would be we would sit and complain about our children, because a lot of times it was like very therapeutic to be around other moms and be like, oh yeah, you haven't slept, I haven't slept either. Right. So if you're a person without children who overhears that, you're like, shit, that sounds terrible. Why would I ever want that for myself? Right. So it's not like she's saying that every single parent and being a parent is inherently miserable. There is so much beauty in it, to the point where at some point in your life, you think back and you have this like momnesia where like, you're like, oh, I was ever miserable. Like, I didn't think that I was ever miserable. And I know that I was, right? So like people are pissed at her, but it's like, let's look at the environment that she grew up in. Let's notice the fact that she's, what happened?
I said exactly.
Let's notice the fact that she isn't saying every mother in the world. She's specifically talking about the people that she knows. And so the way that we outrage against like famous people who have an opinion about a thing that you might tertiarily have something to do with, you need to relax.
Exactly. I think you put it exactly right. Like when I think back to your experience, right? I remember obviously the first year with Aiden, just getting accustomed. I remember, like, I think the first week you were freaking out, right?
Oh my
because
God,
it's hard.
I called you guys at 5 a.m.
I
4 days after he was born. And I was hysterically crying. And I said, you guys need to come here right now.
Exactly. You were in Queens at the time.
I was in Queens at the time. You guys drove from Morris County to Queens at 5 a.m.
Yeah. So I remember a lot of that stuff because I hate to say this, but I care about you. And I saw you struggling through things, right? But then also because I am as close to you and your husband as I am, I've also been able to see a lot of like the quiet moments, like the moments when you're just like, oh man, this kid like made a sentence and he put a thought behind it. And I don't know what to, like, this is now a sentient being. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you have like those moments which Chappell Roan doesn't get to see. She probably visits her friends for like an hour and a half. She sees crying kids, fucking 5 under 5. That sounds like a nightmare. No one should be in that situation ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's probably the reason why.
Yeah.
Also, like, who gives a shit? She's an artist, man. She's not talking about you. What does it matter to you?
Yeah, what's the matter to you?
What's the matter to you? Let the broad say what she wants to say.
Let the broad say whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that happened in SNL. This is 2 weeks ago, but I did want to ask you because it's something that Donnie and Chelsea were talking about on their podcast, and I felt I should ask you as well. Guys, go listen to I Am the Cute One. Morgan Wallen was the musical guest with Mickey, whatever her name is, from Anora. And at the end of the show, typically where everybody turns around and hugs each other, Morgan Wallen just stomped right off right in front of the camera. Then he posted a picture of his plane and it said, "Get me back to God's country." Now I wanted to ask you, Raheel, If you were in a place and you don't want to be there anymore and you wanted to be taken back to God's country, what would God's country be for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. God's country for me is Quick Check at 2 a.m. in the morning. The coffee is fully stocked. All of the fixins are there, and I am ordering a 12-inch sub. That is God's country for me. I want that light. I want the parking lot. I want to have a cigarette smoke in the parking lot, and I want to drink that coffee at 3 a.m. and then not go to sleep until 10:30 in the morning.
What are we having in that submarine?
So as you know, my intake of sub sandwiches and the like has greatly gone down over the last couple of years. But I used to fashion like a chicken cutlet sub at Quick Check by myself. I threw some mozzarella in there, but then I had them, melt it down, sun-dried tomatoes, and then sun-dried tomato mayo.
Ooh.
And then like spicy shit. We're not going for super tart in here, but we're going for spicy. And then I throw in, if they have like Vermont white cheddar cheese, my night is done. I'm so happy.
You're saying Mutts and Vermont white cheddar?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm throwing all that shit on top of it.
Creamy cheese and a sharp cheese. I get it.
Exactly. And then the red, and then the roasted pepper mayo / whatever, ranch, whatever. Something like that. That's what I want.
That's amazing. Also, that's so quintessentially you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
everything. It's everything I like.
Yeah, your birthday is in a mere 4 hours.
Yes.
And I wish for your birthday that you find yourself at a Wawa.
Not a Wawa.
Sorry,
so this is
Quick
a
Check.
misconception. People think Wawa subs are better. Quick Check subs are actually better. Wawa does not let you customize. This is what I would talk about at the filibuster.
You are also a big a quick gas station stop a connoisseur, if you will.
Oh yeah, I've used the gas station stop like instead of being responsible and going to the grocery store for some of this stuff. I know where all the shortcuts are. I've paid $8 for a mini instant coffee packet, which would be $1.75 at Walmart. Because I don't want to get out of the car.
Yeah. Could you rank them? You got Valero, you got Quick Check, you got Wawa.
To me, this is actually interesting. So
is it?
People,
let us know if it's interesting.
Listeners, shut this off like 45 minutes ago. 2 minutes in. So for me, the first great gas station / convenience store situation that I ran into was Quick Check. So it's still number one for me. I still honestly like the layout of a Quick Check better. It's more spacious. I get to walk around. I like how their drinks are set up. I like where the kitchen is and stuff like that. Number two would be Wawa, obviously, because that is, I'll say this about Wawa. They have really good pre-made stuff. So like their mozzarella sticks, their like chicken bites, if you've never had a Wawa stuffed pretzel, cream cheese and jalapenos stuffed pretzel, you have not lived.
Is it a soft pretzel?
It of course is a soft pretzel. It is amazing. And they have like buffalo chicken ones also. So yeah, I am not hating on Wawa. I've always been more of a Quick Check
it's not God's country.
It's not God's country. Now, because I've been going to Pennsylvania a lot, there's a new player in the game, and it's called Sheetz.
Oh, with a Z.
Sheetz, yeah. Sheetz is like Temu Wawa. Sheetz is gross, and I can't stop going there. On one of my trips back from Harrisburg at 7 p.m., I stopped and I got what do you call them? Cheese curds. Cheese curds from Sheetz, which I inhaled in about 70 seconds, and I had the time of my life. And then I still had another 2 hours drive on the way home, and I was like, "What the fuck did I do?" So Sheetz is in there also. I did visit a Buc-ee's when we were in Texas, and those places are amazing.
Yeah, I hear Buc-ee's are really all the rage. Buc-ee's is I
awesome.
think it's like a Southern thing.
Yeah,
Buc-ee's,
exactly.
Completely. There's another place. There's some place called, but I think it's like a burger place. It's called like Culver's in like Minnesota and like Wisconsin and stuff.
I've seen Culver's. I didn't have it when I was in Minnesota this time, but
I think it's just a burger place. I'm not sure, but apparently everybody says as soon as you go to Wisconsin, you have to go to Culver's. Give that a Google. What is that? Anyway,
I don't know. That's not what I'm looking for. There's also, I mean, now that we're talking about fast food places, I know it's like a southern place, a southern fast food place, but I see it popping up in Central Jersey and like Pennsylvania and Philadelphia area. It's known for Raising Cane's.
Oh yeah,
Raising Cane's chicken tenders are incredible.
Yeah, Raising Cane's is good.
And their like dipping sauce is really, really good.
Yeah, the first time I think I had Raising Cane's was in California. You know, my other home. Anyway, Raheel, I hope you have a great birthday.
Ah, buddy, that sounded sincere.
It was.
Oh.
But if you linger here long enough, it'll become insincere.
Yeah, I think we should leave at this point. I think this is exactly the point that we should say goodbye.
Yeah, everybody wish Raheel a happy 42nd. That's 4-2. That's 40 plus 2. That's 22 twice. That's not 22 twice.
It's 21 twice, jackass. I am now officially 2 years older than the prophet when he received the message. Just FYI, that's how old I am. And I think I don't know why I mentioned that, but I always like think of that as like a marker.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. So
how old was Barack Obama when he became president?
He was calmed down. He was like 40. He was like 40. I think 60. He was born in 60. He's probably 48.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got time. I got time.
You got time. Yeah, you can't. There's no.
I can't.
There's not going to be another presidency, guys. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, have a great birthday.
Thanks, buddy. Hey,
and
have a great butt. Have a great butt.